So today is a reading from Extinction X-Rated, my auto-fictional dark satire about good and evil, written under lockdown in Los Angeles a few years back. And here we are in Canggu, filming the book at the next stage in the development of it as a film. This chapter is titled Independence Day. I relaxed and mindfully noticed the sensations rippling through my body, an anatomical flow of high energy waves along a landscape of ancient emotions, punctuated only by the beat of my heart. I focused more fully, feeling a timelessness within each pulse, and yet with each beat, a reminder of mortality and a clock that just keeps on ticking. Heartbeat after tick-tock. I opened the awareness to include the kaleidoscopic swirl of symbols and images and patterns of information within my own self-generated interior mandala, my wheel of life and my own war with samsara. And this ongoing existential struggle of perpetual choices with endless crossroads forced upon us whether we like it or not. I look more mindfully into a set of historic images, hoping to extract new meaning in the present. And as I do, I'm simultaneously transported back to my beloved Burma. January 4th, 1996, Independence Day, and then again into the future and back again to a transient Earth orbiting a sun star in infinity. I'm at Aung San Suu Kyi's home in Rangoon, a place I've come to know through months of secretive conversations with her and other revolutionaries in their struggle for freedom and democracy. I hear the sounds of jubilation in the festive air. As a Westerner dressed in Burmese attire, I'm unrecognizable as I mingle among several hundred of the country's most prominent democracy activists. They're celebrating Independence Day in defiance of dictatorship, with gatherings of 5 or more, a crime against the state and punishable by imprisonment, torture, execution, and even death by starvation and rape. The revolutionary atmosphere was alive with traditional theater, music, singing, storytelling, puppetry, and classical dance, and radiant with the people's love of harmlessness as the most effective means to fight totalitarian tyranny. I took a moment to let history transport her magic through the existential arteries of the past to embolden my truth today. Remember why you are here, Alan. To decide whether life is worth living, everything else is irrelevant. On the lake behind Aung San Suu Kyi's compound, the curtain opened on the makeshift stage. And to the joy of all gathered, Parley, the country's preeminent spoken word satirist, appeared. Many say that the seeds of Orwell's totalitarian classic 1984 was birthed during his years in Burma as a policeman. And my translator explained, Parlay's performances brought new meaning to Big Brother. So much so that telling the truth was not only a revolutionary act, but one met with prison, torture, and often death. As U Parlay took the mic, I was told that he had just been released the day before from a hard labor camp in the north of the country. His crime? Satirizing Burma's military dictator at his last spoken word gig. And this was U Parlay's first act upon release from prison. Traveling underground from Mandalay, 500 miles north, to perform here on Independence Day, the very day 50 years before that Burma unchained herself from 135 years of British imperialism. U Parlay continued, quote, "For 6 years I've been pounding rocks 20 hours a day with leg and arm irons on, waiting for this moment to perform again." How rad is that? I tried to imagine his reality, chained at a crossroads for 6 years, pounding rocks without a choice of which road to take. Both forks pointed back to where he was standing, pounding rocks. And I heard his totalitarian master shouting in my head, "Put your head down, pound those rocks. Do as I say. Do not dare think of tomorrow or even today. Lift that pickaxe and keep pounding, and never forget you're a criminal and our slave." U Parlay continues, "Let me offer a few reminders from our brother George Orwell. Although he lived with us back in the 40s, his spirit today lives on," U Parlay said. "A people that would allow themselves to be dominated by corrupt generals, politicians, imposters, thieves and traitors and liars, as they do not only here in Burma, but all over the world, especially in China, Russia, North Korea, and even in the homes of democracy around the world, well, they are not victims, but accomplices. Although counterintuitive," he explained, "the greater the understanding of the beast, the greater the delusion. The more intelligent the true human, the less sane. Therefore, feel that staying human is essential, even when it feels like it can't have any result," he said. "And in so doing, you've beaten them. And if liberty means anything, it means the right to tell the imposter, the liar, what they do not want to hear, especially if they refer to themselves as a military general. Even as a president, a prime minister, anyone of authority who claims to tell the truth and is telling a lie, refuse to participate in that deception," he told the audience. With that said, he looked at everyone there, "I know that today's performance will land me back in prison, but so be it," Parlay told people there all over the world. Can you hear it? He said, "Freedom is more important than fear." How rockin' is that? And for the next 2 hours, Parlay and his mustache brothers dazzled the audience with biting satire aimed squarely at the evil of military dictatorship in his own country and the totalitarian meme embedded in the mind of most every democratically elected freedom-loving leader worldwide. How's that? Thank you, Parlay. People laughed and cried and got up and danced in a revolutionary expression of moral rebellion, a virtue I drew from here in the House of Rocky to further fuel my escalating war with fear and terminal resignation. And sure enough, the day after his show, Parlay was picked up in the middle of the night by the totalitarian military police in his country of Myanmar and carted off without trial and sentenced to 6 more years in a hard labor camp, pounding rocks with arm and leg irons 20 hours a day. And my spirit guide, Robert Chardoff, in whose house I was in the House of Rocky, said to me through my spirit, Alan, go for it. Never, ever give up. Like the people in Burma, the revolutionaries, holding up 3 fingers in solidarity to freedom and the right to revolt against the evil Ming Online. Let us all stand up to tyranny, deception, and keep independence and liberty and the fire of democracy high in the sky of hope. Thank you.